Hey everyone, welcome to the show. LinkedIn do this great state of the labor market report. I'm showing it on the screen now. For October, it was published 4th of November. It's the 10th of November today. Credit to Corey Kantenga, Head of Economics Americas at LinkedIn. Really great report. Gives a nice kind of sense check, a little barometer of what's going on, and some really interesting graphics, graphs, and stats. So if you jump on, I'll put the link in the show notes. You can see how they work these things out. So this is really interesting. So this is LinkedIn hiring rates. And for context, it's a percentage of LinkedIn members who added a new employer to their profile in the same month the new job began, divided by the total number of LinkedIn members in the country. So super interesting. I mean, you can clearly see there's a lot of red. It's tough. It's been a tough year. The UAE really stands out as an outlier. India as well. This is from the column on the left, September 2019. You can see how much hiring in those two countries have increased. But you can get a general sense here of hiring has been slowing this year, even in countries like the UAE, where there are, compared to other places, an awful lot of recruiting and stuff. So a little bit of a slow down. But I think as things recover, it's going to be interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens. It's cool, but it's gonna get. I mean, I think it's gonna get very interesting in terms of new jobs, hiring, stuff like that. I think competition's very fierce at entry level. That's interesting, and I want to cover that. They show a really interesting graph now, and also for folks at the top of the tree, leadership roles. Generally harder anyway because every company is a pyramid structure. So this is the graphic. Again, you can see the top one is India, the green one, and the dotted yellow is the UAE. This is interesting for me, and this is tightness. This is about job seekers, and the general theme here is that job seekers are finding it very difficult to land a new job. Like they're finding it much harder to find work. They're having to apply to more jobs if they're applying through adverts. And this reflects a scarcity of opportunities and the effort required to land a new role. So I speak to so many people, they think it's just them struggling to find work and stuff like that. So, I hope you find this interesting. Many people are finding it difficult to find work. So keep plugging away. Don't stop over November and December. Like just go really hard. Networking, speak to headhunters, apply for job ads. When you apply for job ads, message the hiring managers and things like this. Do something that you can that can set you apart. This is super interesting for me. This shows LinkedIn hiring rates again, measured in a similar way than the one I just described earlier. This is from percentage difference from 2020. Again, you can see the UAE and India are outliers here. The developed economy, UK down, US down. But these are interesting. These two on the right here. So you have entry-level bachelor's degrees, and then you have entry-level bachelor's plus degrees. So and masters, etc. And you can see how much hiring has slowed versus all or just normal entry level. So if you look at the UK here, so hiring for entry level bachelor's plus, so folks that have got more than a degree, they've really struggled. Also people with a bachelor's degree plus in the US as well, 38%, UK 30%, France 46% down. So that's really significant, and I think a big problem. It's expensive to go to university. And by the way, I'm not saying don't go to university at all. I went to university. I think for many jobs, there's value in having a degree. Hey, if I'm getting my heart surgery done, they're going to have every single degree going, right? So anyway, there's certain things you need. I think my general point is that it doesn't have to be everyone's path. It's not the only path to success. So, as a young person, you could become an electrician, an engineer, something like that. Engineering, you have to go to university. Let's say an electrician. and you can do vocational courses and things like that, and you can have an incredible living and make great money and all of those things. So it's not the only path, and I think schools need to be way better at showing and teaching young people the different paths available to them. And if schools don't know, they've got to learn themselves, right? Because the world is changing so much. The job that our kids are doing, in fact, hey, like even in 18 months' time, when people talk about the future of work's now, things are changing all the time. And so for young folks are wandering into the workforce, like there's so many paths. So I think schools need to be better at that. And if for universities, if you're asking young people to spend, and this varies across the world, America, it's, you know, $80,000 to $100,000 a year, maybe. UK, it's less. Whatever it is, right? You're spending money. So you're entering the workforce with debt, and you want to get a return for your money. And it's important. And so if you're wandering in as a young person, expecting to get a crazy salary, you know, everything's going to open up for you, and you realize that your history of art degree or your geography degree or history degree or whatever degree hasn't really set you up for anything particular, or it's not giving you a standout, or it's not set. There's some kind of problem there. So I think universities need to be way better at thinking through how skills are shifting. Like, what do employers want? You know, they say like technical skills get outdated in 2 to 3 years or something like that. You know, so you need to be hiring people, or people need to be learning to continually keep updating their skills and things like that. So for universities, I think they need to be speaking with employers. They need to be working together and think through, well, how can we prepare young people for what the world looks like today and what it might look like in the future, which maybe is even just 12 months in advance or for 18 months. You need to be way better at that, especially as you're asking someone to spend money on a degree and you want to get return for it, right? Second point. Third point, I mean, learning is great anyway, right? I mean, you don't have to go to university to learn. I think learning is something you do your whole life. So, you know, and I'm not anti-degrees, I'm not anti-universities. I'm just really, really trying to advocate for giving our young people the best opportunities possible. And that's true, teaching them what the market might be like, teaching them to be adaptable, to continue learning, all of those kind of things. And I think also I do think this, we've seen a slowdown in hiring from this. I'm going to take this off. Yeah, let me show you. So we've clearly seen a slowdown here, right? This is by industry actually. And so another interesting thing here is that many of the industries where graduates typically might go to, so, you know, financial services, manufacturing, technology, professional services, you know, you've clearly seen since 2019 here a slowdown, year-on-year slowdown. So you can see things slowing, but as we pick up, and things will pick up, because I think actually AI will create a lot of jobs, and I'm seeing a lot of jobs that are being created already. I mean, some of these AI roles, AI governance, AI compliance, all of these kind of things never existed like last year. So I think we're going to see a nice uptick. I'm going to think there's lots of jobs created. And for me, it's thinking through there's a lot of people that want to work, young people, mid-career, towards the end of their career, people want to work, they want to contribute. How can we match these folks with the jobs that companies need? And I think that's a problem that we need to solve for. So I hope you find that useful. Check out that LinkedIn report. They do a really good job. And yeah, see you soon.